not banned out. Will ROCCAT go for that here as their third and final ban, or will they go elsewhere? They will go elsewhere, at least a final ban from them. Now Fnatic have to think, do we ban the Kassadin, or do we let it go? There it is.
They banned it away, don't really want to take the chance here. Their Elise ban is a little bit surprising because Jankos actually played a lot of Elise, but same goes for Cyanide, so they obviously respect the champion enough to actually ban it away and respect Cyanide on it.
One thing that has gone through, Thresh, something that's been banned a lot against ROCCAT, and Vander, of course, in particular. With Elise down, with Evelyn down, Kha'Zix still open here, Lee Sin also still open.
I mean, they're still two good junglers, so you can trade them. You don't necessarily have to instant lock or first pick one of them. You can look towards the top lane, you can look towards the mid lane. Ziggs has been a ban against Overpower quite a lot. It's left open now, both him and Xpeke can play it. Seems though they just want to go with, I would say, the safe first pick here, and also see what Fnatic actually picks, so maybe try and counter some of the lanes.
Safety first, getting the Lee Sin in there on the first round, but Fnatic have themselves two choices. We talked about Yellow Star and Thresh, with the fact that Thresh is open here, that he's not really had that up there in his most priority picks, if you want, in that support role. We'll see if he actually takes it in this one. Maybe not because he wants to particularly play it, but to deny that as well from Vander on the other side.
They could do what they have done in the past, or at least in this SuperWeek, is a lot of Morgana actually for Yellow Star. Yeah. They used it in these pick comps as the disengage, and also for whenever the likes of Reckless or Xpeke want to go in for kills, there's a black shield on them and they feel a lot more safe.
And with Twitch down there, they want to get the AD carry in that first round too, so the duo lane locked in for Fnatic, Morgana and Lucian.
Both of them scale well into the late game. We just talked about Morgana, how Fnatic likes to use her simply as a disengage when they have these pick comps where they move around. You can also use her in a siege comp. Simply put the black shield on Lucian, he can get a few hits on the tower, move away, no risk of him getting locked down or kicked back by someone like Elise Sin here. So very strong start, and also a decent enough lane for Fnatic. They can go 2-on-2, they can also go in a lane swap.
So what will ROCCAT go for here? Will they keep things safe, take a mid laner maybe now, knowing that Fnatic most likely are going to wait all the way to that last pick and see basically what Overpower is going to be running in that mid lane before they decide anything on that front, and therefore this Thresh is probably a safe choice. Just mirroring Fnatic here in terms of what they pick up in this round. Going to secure the duo. Looks like we'll be seeing a Graze for Celiver and the Thresh in there for Vander.
And Fnatic now can lock in something like Nidalee or Ziggs and just focus on sieging. Because again, from ROCCAT's side here, Lee Sin brings very low amount of wave play. It doesn't actually count as direct wave play. Same goes for Thresh. Graves late game, it's risky for him to get close in there where he needs to clear the waves because of his box shot is shorter range. So it makes it up for Fnatic when we see the last pick for them later on here. If they go for a siege comp, they can get a lot of free damage onto the towers before the minion wave is even cleared by ROCCAT.
Fnatic locking instantly pretty much their next choices here. Obviously, we're already had those pre-planned. Kha'Zix and Shyvana, the two lock-ins for Cyanide, and then Soaz in the top lane.
Yeah, not really any surprises here.
Yeah.
Talked about the two junglers being banned away, so it left Lee Sin and Kha'Zix as the two ones left. Of course, they trade them, and then Shyvana, Jax being banned away. She's been the go-to top laner once Jax was banned away. ROCCAT here can counter it, or somewhat counter, with a Trundle pick, which Sassus has played quite a lot, and is a good pick against the likes of Shyvana.
Well, we'll see here. We've seen Kayle again kind of phasing in and out over the course of the, I think we can safely say, from Spring Split, and in the couple of days, that's a bit of a strange one. A couple of days that we've had before us here in the Summer Split, and it will be Kayle in the mid lane for Overpower, and as you rightly pointed out there, Trundle for the top lane for Xaxus.
It's been the standard pick against Shyvana. We talk about always how Trundle is good one-on-one against her. Mid-game wise, both of them are fairly even, but in late game, Trundle can start taking over, really win the split push war. And that's, of course, where the pick comes in. And also, you take away her tank stats, or take some of them away in big team fights, and Trundle in the front line, and it's very, very tanky. The Kayle pick itself here actually should be pretty smart, especially also if he goes for the attack speed build, because on Fnatic's side, to actually stun lock him, there's only the Morgana. And unless Yellowstar gets all these CC onto Kayle, nobody can actually stop Overpower from just spamming his auto attacks away here and doing a lot of damage to everyone from Fnatic.
Fnatic, you can see they're having a big discussion about what they're going to be locking in last. They were over Lulu. They had Orianna there for a little while. They go with Lulu in the end.
And this works the same way as a Ziggs or Nidalee here. You have good wave clear, you have good potential of setting up a siege here. You have Shyvana in one lane to apply pressure with the teleport, and then you of course keep your AD carry with Lulu, with Morgana in the mid lane. You double shield the AD carry. He gets a lot of hits onto the tower, and a lot of poke as well from both Lulu and the Lucian. So Fnatic here can try and punish the lack of instant wave clear from ROCCAT if they manage to pull ahead and just start grouping up as a team and moving all the way down. And if ROCCAT then decide to actually engage onto them, there's a lot of disengagement. Again, it's Lulu, it's Morgana, both of them are great at disengaging, and Lucian is one of the best AD carries at staying alive, especially also by himself. He can calling the way back whenever he's running away from a fight.
I'm really interested to see how this one goes. The fact is that we said it just before this game that ROCCAT so far have had a very strange almost performance so far, very up and down yo-yo-like. Fnatic only just got their first win against the Wolves, and we can't really judge them from that because the Wolves themselves aren't looking so great. So hard one to call.
We just have to say both teams here, they need the win, and they need to really show they can be more consistent and better.
Well, you guys have been voting for which team you think is going to win, so let's check in and see who you picked out for this match. Looks like 67% of you have gone with Fnatic. Gonna be real honesty, I expected it to be more.
I agree, and I also think before the SuperWeek started, it would have been a lot more, maybe even 85% on Fnatic here. But of course, with the 2 losses yesterday, they still need to prove something for the fans to vote for them.
Well, they're looking for their second win in a row today, and to go 2-2 in SuperWeek, which at the end of the day, still a very balanced performance.
Of course,
if you kind of forget how they've played and what have you, being 2-2 at the end of the first week, whilst probably not going to be happy about that, they're probably not going to be too disappointed either, with a solid base to move on from. Well, here we go, in-game, it's ROCCAT versus Fnatic. Who's going to be getting in there for the action early on? Just to touch on the trinkets as the first point here. Only one real anomaly across the board, and that's the sweeping lens from Yellow Star.
And he did the same thing yesterday, where Fnatic then invaded into the enemy red buff, and whenever he saw ward getting dropped down, he just instant sweeping lens onto it, cleared the vision, so ROCCAT, or the team that played yesterday, couldn't actually see them move out of the jungle again. Simply meant there was a chance of them staying in there, catching out a target. They had no idea if Fnatic was still in there, or if they already backed away. So it was smart for him. It requires, however, to him actually spot the ward. I mean, he needs to see when it gets dropped down, because there's a lot of choices now for ROCCAT to ward, either in the river, they can ward around the Wraith camp, or even in the bushes.
Well, a couple of wards have started to appear on the map. Both top laners already putting theirs into position. One in the tri-bush from Xaxus on the top side of river, but Fnatic stack here is well and truly on the bottom side. There's a ward down. Will have been spotted there. They saw Vander coming out, and there it is. There's the sweeper used, and they're going to clear out that vision.
And it's only Yellow Star actually showing himself to clear the ward. The rest of the team are waiting back in the bush here. Didn't want to give anything away, just ROCCAT won't have any idea what Fnatic is actually planning to do. For now though, both teams have just been scouting away. And now Yengas, he was spotted by the ward, saw it actually also disappear now, and backs away. So they knew it was warded. Fnatic already moved in position.
Very, very interesting tactical start here with the wards. There's another one going down. It's going to get auto-attacked enough to fall as well. Celeber actually at the front, and there's a hook onto one Cyanide. They're going to try and burst him down, and there is first blood. It goes over to Vander. Jankos fell low as well. Overpower still doing great damage here to Soaz. He will be forced to flash back towards his turret, and ROCCAT get the early first blood.
And Fnatic, they were in a good position. They knew ROCCAT was nearby. They saw the ward being dropped down. They killed it as well. And yet they actually went in because they were looking for either a fight or late invade on the blue buff. And ROCCAT, perfect position, punish Fnatic.
Vander hooks. We talk about it so often that he's been, over the course of the spring split, mainly a game changer with that champion, and that seems to be continuing trend here today. 2.5 minutes gone, first kill already there for ROCCAT. Yellow Star actually starting off the red buff on his own here until Cyanide comes around and gets involved.
So they will be able to pick up the red buff, however, it is very delayed. Yengas already got his blue buff, already at now the second buff for him, so he's gonna be very far ahead of Cyanide here when it comes to time for the very first gank, and it's going to be hard for Cyanide if he wants to try and counter gank it.
And Soaz not really had much to do up until now. He's just actually running down towards this bottom lane. We're going to see Cyanide moving in as well. So 4 versus 1, he needs to leave.
He shouldn't be here. He knows there's a high chance 4 member shows up. Source, of course, didn't even show himself in the top lane. No reason you're gonna get denied everything. And Sasus, you need to back away.
And, well,
smart man.
Exactly what he's doing. He used his teleport, of course, before to get in and going into your own jungle. Even though it's your own jungle on paper, it's probably not a wise move either. And as you see SOAS and Cyanide coming out of the brush there, he's probably thinking, okay, that was a good call for me to move back. I'm just going to sit here, try and soak up a little bit of experience, and he did just get level 2 there, so that's a nice little bonus for him in this scenario. They've not got vision of him. Oh, they do have vision of him, actually, their pinging, so they saw him coming up thanks to that ward that they had over the side. Either way, first turret's going to go down. It actually goes the way of ROCCAT first on the top side.
Yeah, and they keep pushing down here for the next one. This tower is not gone yet. Fnatic is waiting for the tower to kill all the minions, and then they can kill it, so the wave here won't push towards ROCCAT. They're gonna deny Sasus a lot of farm, so they want the minion waves to just be stuck on each other, but they need to get back and defend this tower.
Real quick as well, because it's already down to half HP. There's 4 minions or
no damage
minions.
reduction. There's no damage reduction.
And it's going down, I feel, on this one as well. There's still enough minions there for them to actually pull this one off. The next wave coming through as well, and that turret is only requiring 1 more auto attack. SOAS will get into position here, but they're trying to run out and let those minions die, and there is turret number 2 for ROCCAT.
And even better for ROCCAT, the cannon minion from Fnatic was there, so the wave is gonna now push towards their side. So we won't see a freeze here from Source. He won't be able to pick up a lot of them, and he needs to be careful because ROCCAT is staying nearby.
Yellow start. Forward.
I checked him.
SOAS, yeah, that was nicely done. What comes out from Vander, just to see if he could get a lucky pull in there, but didn't happen for him. Celiva just going to recall out. Vander will be doing the same. So early advantage here for ROCCAT. This mid lane, of course, has been all quiet because the jungler's been nowhere near it, so it's just been a farm fest in that mid lane, which Overpower currently slightly ahead on.
And ROCCAT could actually, instead of recall there, just walked up, forced Source away from the minion wave, and just let it push towards them even harder, because it's pushing very hard now, and it would deny Source pretty much all the CS. Now he can pick up at least a few of them before Sasus comes up and gets a big wave.
Has gone down the bottom there for ROCCAT.
Should have denied him. They should have.
And that's the bad news for him now. I mean, he's going to start to push back on it, but that's 12 CS, 13 CS that SOAS has managed to pick up on his way through. And the minion wave from ROCCAT will come and meet them right in the center. So that lane all reset right now, and Zazas is probably going to have to let it come through a lot further if he wants to try and hold it off.
Yeah, he needs to down to his tower and just start last hitting. Cyanide is actually moving towards his top lane here.
Oh, reckless.
Oh, there's the hook.
There's the hook coming in. Flay will knock him back towards Celiva. It's Vander that's tanking up the turret here. He's going to go straight back through. Safeguard comes out, and that is a kill, a second kill for ROCCAT. Having to go at the turret as well, but with Yellow Star moving in, Vander a little bit low. ROCCAT is certainly going to have to delay this somewhat until that next minion wave goes through.
And you said in Champ Select, will Fnatic give Vander his signature champion? They did, and now he's already been part of both kills, actually picked up both kills for himself. Teleport from Source though, down to the bottom lane to hold the tower. And
they back straight away from that one. And SOAS not really losing too much from that one because the wave is being frozen right now on the turret there by Zazas. That's going to be slowly but surely pushing back on. Cyanide actually invading right now onto the ROCCAT jungle as well, so a lot of map movements early on in this game.
Source, however, did actually use his teleport, so we could see if ROCCAT want to try and set up a dragon and have Sasus teleporting down. But some action in the mid lane. Overpower taking some damage. Then he got turned into a squirrel, and now he backs away.
Had an ultimate available as well, just in case Peke did decide to go all in on that one. In the end, didn't happen for him, and that's going to allow Peke a bit of free time in this mid lane, and also will bring him back level and even take the lead when it comes to those minions that they've managed to take down, and will allow him that first chance to go home and spend a little bit of that cash. Meanwhile, Vander and Celiva back down again into this bottom lane, and we're going to see the 2v2 once again. Question is, will they hang around here? The hooks have been absolutely brilliant so far from Vander, and if Jankos gets involved, which he currently can't really because he's on the top side of the map, could be a little bit of danger there for Fnatic. The AD carry's got similar builds at this stage, by the way. Both Vamp sets to double Doran's blade. Just the boots making the difference.
But this is a pretty smart move by Jankos, because there's a chance, of course, Sasus will be ganked once he pushes the wave all the way down to Source, all the way down to the side of Fnatic. So Jankos was just staying nearby to see if anything was going to happen. And also in case the red buff here, when it spawns, he's going to stay near it. So it means Sasus, once he builds up the very big wave, can go down. But Celiva just poking on to Reckless in a very manly way.
Yeah, was pretty much point blank range there, and Yellowstar had actually left Reckless to wander up the river and then come back, so it was pretty much free time. One danger that they've got, of course, ROCCAT, is that there's no turret behind them at this stage, and that's why they've got so many wards there on the map to make sure that either Cyanide or Peke even don't come looping around the back of Dragon Pit.
But Source now up in this top lane here, he's getting a huge wave. It's gonna push even harder towards him. He can actually freeze this one. ROCCAT either needs to go up here, break this freeze, push it all the way down to the tower, or they have to start the dragon. There's no teleport on Source, so they need to get something. Actually seems like he doesn't want to freeze it because of the risk of the dragon, so he now pushes out.
Pushing it straight on through, and with that wave, 49 to 37 CS in favor of Soaz, who's got himself a chain vest on top of his boots of speed and the Doran's blade that was started with. On the other side, Xaxus Vamp Scepter, so he'll be feeling pretty confident in terms of that lane. But for now, of course, with that imminent threat of the dragon, he's headed down towards it. He has his TP, which obviously doesn't need because it's there, but the other side of that coin is Soaz doesn't.
And that's exactly why Source is just pushing the wave, because at least now he can get some damage on the tower. Damage reduction is gone, it only lasts till minute 7, and now it is gone. It means he can get some damage on the tower, and he can try to deny Xaxus quite a lot, or at least force him to use teleport top lane to pick up the big wave.
Dragon taken very sneakily there by ROCCAT. There was no vision whatsoever out of Fnatic's side of the map. And I tell you what, the bottom lane giving him a good run for their money right now. Of course, the 2 kills that came to ROCCAT, both are on Vander, funnily enough. So whilst that's given him a bit of a leg up in terms of itemization, they'd probably have preferred them over to Sullivan so he could do a little bit more damage and really out-damage Reckless when it came to those trades.
But credit to both teams here, they're playing it very smart around the dragon, and now Source managed to actually force away the teleport from Xaxus, so it's on cooldown. His own teleport is ready, so now Fnatic can try and make a play. He won't be able to join. So both teams reacting really well. When there was a big wave top, ROCCAT knew they had to start the dragon, and Source knew he needed to push down the wave to force something from Xaxus. So both teams here doing well in the start.
Very much glued to his outer turret there. Make sure that he misses no CS because he needs every last one of them at this point in the game. 72 to 47 CS that he is behind, and pretty much making an easy job of it in there, as well as Soaz had just backed away for the Giant's Belt pickup. So going straight in to that Sunfire Cape. Well, down on this bottom lane, Selva has started to, or is keeping this CS fairly even. Reckless, not a man that generally misses a lot of CS, whether you've got him pushed right up to his turret or whether he's in the middle of the lane.
Very, very true. We just have to remember, of course, Graves is a very good AD carry in the lane against Lucian, can trade a lot of damage with him. And also Thresh, of course, brings a lot as a support, so much utility, also quite a lot of damage. So good lane for ROCCAT, and now, oh wow, he's not in trouble actually.
Intervention used for him. Jankos came around the side, did force that wild growth out of ex-Peke, and more importantly, Flash was used there by Peke as well. So that may be an immediate target here for Jankos the next time that he does decide to loop around this bottom lane. ROCCAT not really pushing too heavily to try and get damage onto that turret, and that will actually work in their favor. The fact was that we saw Kha'Zix looping around in there as well, waiting out to see if he could offer any assistance down in that bottom lane, but Selva and Vander were quite happy with just farming in there and not really pushing too much.
Yeah, and as soon as the sword binding dashed away, didn't want to take any chances at all. Sana though, gonna spot out Jankos, both junglers staying around here. He's actually gonna spot the pink ward now as well for ROCCAT. They had these pink wards for quite a while, you talked about it yourself, didn't want to risk Sana moving behind him or expect roaming around to set something up. So it's actually very good defensive wards here from ROCCAT. It meant they've been very safe in the lane, because again the bottom lane tower was gone, so it's a long lane you can get ganked in. Didn't happen because of the pink wards as well.
First item coming out for Overpower, that Lashes 2 done for him. Peke got the workings of the Athenes, but not finished off as of yet. With the recall for Selva as well, by the way, he did pick himself a BF sword, so that's the slight advantage that he's going to have. But also for him, the bad news is that Reckless is also recalling and he's going to come back in with exactly the same items.
Exactly the same items, even the same amount of health potions for both AD carries here. So farming very close, evenly with each other, but this tower is going to go down. ROCCAT again, taking control of the towers.
3 versus 2 there with Morgana and Kha'Zix not wanting to get into a fight. The hook had already been used, so there wasn't an immediate threat of that one causing problems for them, but it's the 3rd tower for ROCCAT of this game. Only the outer turret in the middle lane still stands. That's got to be an obvious priority for ROCCAT now.
Only issue is Lulu in the mid lane has quite a lot of wave clear, and also Fnatic can quickly move members in there. Teleport is ready on source. It is going to be the target for ROCCAT, or should be, of course, unless they want to go straight for split, pushing here early on. Would be a little bit of a risky call. Sasus though doing quite some damage up the source here. We need to see if they want to go straight for this mid tower, force Fnatic then to come in and try and defend it, or they just want to try and farm away. For now, they are on the mid tower. The AD carry, however, is not there.
AD carry not there, and Fnatic have already moved their support and AD carry, and the jungler in a little while as the hook lands onto Yellow Star, but no follow through. He was behind the turret as that hook started to drag him in. So nice little attempt by ROCCAT, but Fnatic ready for that whole thing to go on. Blue Buffs have come back into play as well, and Overpower, of course, back away to pick up his. And the same should be happening down on the bottom side for Peke in just a few months. That, of course, did come into play later on because of the fact that Cyanide didn't go for his blue buff early on. He actually went back. This actually could change. The hook gonna come out, and that's a dash away from Reckless.
And ROCCAT can just keep the pressure in this mid lane because the bottom lane is pushing towards Fnatic. So if they can keep Fnatic here for a minute or two, this wave up here can actually go towards the tower. If they don't keep the pressure up, Reckless can then farm the mid lane, move to the bottom lane, pick up even more farm. So we need to see what ROCCAT decides to do. For now, staying in the mid lane, Dragon is coming up in 50 seconds as well. So it's a very good move, applying a lot of pressure and making sure they know exactly where Fnatic is.
Ooh, it's a 5-man team. The hook did land there, but its shield came down instantly from Yellow Star to stop the follow-up from that one. They're going to be recalling here, Fnatic, so need to be a little bit wary. In fact, they've actually stopped recalling. That's probably a good idea on this one. With that Dragon now coming up in less than 30 seconds. And they do have the timer for it. Well, they didn't see the Dragon itself going down. I think they saw Jankos moving out of the pit. After that, Sullivan takes a big hit there from both Lucian and Lulu in the middle lane. That could be a problem now.
Took a lot of damage at least. Dragon is up in 8 seconds. Fnatic still need to get into the river and actually put up some wards so they can get some good vision around here. They have a lot of pink wards on them, so they can at least deny a lot of vision and feel very safe once they actually place them down.
That blue buff, as I said, spawned a little bit later because the Cyanide start where he went one buff and down to that bottom lane to get things rolling on that front of things. And the feeling that I get is that neither team wants to out-and-out fight maybe for this Dragon here. There's no immediate rush over to it as the hook goes flying wide. Aimed, well, I say aimed for Yellow Star. It was right down the middle of both of them, so it could have been for either one as Reckless getting caught out. Overpower gonna flash for it. He's gonna have to turn now. Has a go at Cyanide. The stealth coming in. Overpowered less than half HP. Minions there to help out with the damage as well. But they've got Lulu coming across the side. Peke does have his flash. Will flash in there and gets the kill.
Gets the kill here. Overpower, who was following the wave all the way up to the tower, tried to fight 2 members from Fnatic. They should be able to pick up this mid tower at least. They still lose Overpower.
Losing Overpower, but getting turret number 4 of the game. Vander, you are spotted there, my friend, but Peke just going to let him recall, and in the end,
the Dragon.
Seems to be a bit of a bait for that one. And with Fnatic now saying, okay, 1 man's down, including the intervention, crucially, we should be the ones that start to make our move over towards the Dragon. Try and get our first one of the game. The Lantern will spot that that one's going on. Nothing that they can do about that one, though. Fnatic get their first Dragon of the game.
So because they invested so many members onto trying to kill Overpower, they left the mid lane completely undefended. Of course, ROCCAT could just pick it up very easily, but Fnatic at least responds, picking up the Dragon with Overpower being dead. So they get some global gold, however, losing the mid tower, especially with the ward control ROCCAT have had in this game so far, could be very crucial.
This top lane, been so quiet after what was an interesting start to it. 23 to 148 CS, so SOAS still winning out, as has been the trend already throughout this game so far. We can see that some 5K was already picked up and finished. He's got a level advantage over Zazas, but here comes Jankos around the side, and SOAS managing to dodge quite a lot of that damage. Will have to use his ultimate though to get back to safety. He had Cyanide coming in, but was a little bit too far away to be immediately useful.
But still, Source is very tanky alone with the Sunfire KP as the first item, and Cyanide is staying around, but so is Jankos. Both junglers are gonna meet each other now.
Face check from Jankos. That's not what you really need to go for. Now they turn things around. Jankos will flash away from it. Already uses ultimate to get that kick off. Meanwhile, Vander here going low. He's got the intervention. They're going to try and burst out Peke. Wild Growth comes in. Peke is very low and gets finished off in the end by Celiver. You saw the TP coming from Soaz. He actually cancelled it in the end.
Very, very strong fight from ROCCAT. First of all, they start everything in the top lane, apply all the pressure, and then in the mid lane, they manage to win the fight. 3 versus 3 here. Intervention from Overpower was perfect. Vander, he tanked off all the damage, and then the burst from Graves we saw as well. Look at the fight here. It's actually a very good binding from Yellowstar because Vander is trying to clear ward. So then Overpower joins in, intervention, stops a lot of the damage, and Vander just keeps tanking up. The 2 carries here from ROCCAT are completely untouched. They're focused on the mid laner, where Fnatic is focusing all the damage onto the support.
Very nicely done there by ROCCAT, and right now they're still pushing, going for that inner turret in the middle lane, and they've done a hell of a lot of damage to that as well. 3 men make that 4 now from Fnatic are there. Don't forget that Soaz's TP was used and then cancelled, so not the full cooldown, but still can't match the fact that Xaxus can join in that fight, and Soaz even started to walk down to that middle lane just in case he was needed.
And Xaxus recalled back to base now. He got his Blade of the Rune King, so we need to see how he will handle the one-on-one against Soaz. He might be forced to teleport to the top lane if he wants to pick up the wave here, because Soaz is going to push it down to his tower. For now he's just running up there. We'll see what he decides to do.
Gonna head away from that one as another blue buff goes over for Overpower. Needlessly large rod was added in top on that Ashes Tooth that we mentioned earlier on the other side. Peke also got a needlessly large rod for his addition to that Athene's and Sorcerer shoes already. Both AD carriers has somehow been the trend for this game so far. Exactly the same itemization. Both sat on Bloodthirster, both got the Zeal. Okay, that's now changed slightly as I'm talking about it. Celiver finished off his Berserker Graves.
Well, we did actually see in the last fight in the mid lane the power of Graves, especially here when we're coming towards the mid game. The burst potential expected was the target, and there was so much damage from him and Overpower together to just destroy him.
Damage though from Peke coming in. Cyanide spotted by Jankos. He jumps away to safety. Don't want to get outnumbered there on the side of the river. And they've now got Reckless coming in. This top turret, of course, still standing. Not exactly many hit points left remaining on it. And Soaz needs to be slightly careful there with that Sunfire Cape giving the aggro of the turret over. But they got enough damage between the two of them. Xaxus not going to go for a 1v2 fight. However, they need to move around if they want to keep on this middle turret.
Yeah, Graves was not there. Also, Overpower in the top lane. Those are the 2 with wave clear from ROCCAT here. They were out of position, so the top lane went easily for Fnatic. Was already very low. That's why they couldn't move Reckless up there. And of course, the mid lane also took some damage. And both of them are now waiting around. Xaxus doesn't seem like he wants to go into this push. Or what?
Or maybe he does. Or not.
Can you decide, please?
Going in, going out. Doesn't really know what he's doing there or what he's feeling like, but they've not seen Lucian, and he knows he was there just a few moments ago, and there is Lucian doing the damage. They don't see Soaz recalling in that one, but Xaxus so far has played it safe. Don't expect that to suddenly change here. I want to just quickly touch on the Vision standings, if you like, right now. We see that Fnatic got a couple of wards on the top side of the ROCCAT jungle, a couple on the bottom side as well. For ROCCAT, though, they've got no vision inside Fnatic's jungle. Okay, tell a little bit of a lie. There's a 1 on blue up there.
So they had a lot of vision early on here, but of course the water ran out, and Fnatic is taking control of the top lane. They have all the pressure there, so that's why they can't actually get any deep wards in that side of the area. And at the same time, mid lane wise, it's actually Fnatic who's pushing down the wave over and over. That's why ROCCAT, they can't really get in with deep wards, and Fnatic could. But Jankos going aggressive.
Jankos going aggressive, and he's going to kick Yellowstar back in towards Overpower. Easy kill there. Nicely done. I thought they were going to end up going for Lucian. But in the end, Jankos saying, okay, no, I'm just going to switch straight across as a hook. There's no Cyanide's position. He needs to be careful. We've got half a minute until the next dragon comes into play.
So Yellowstar here, as long as Fnatic can stall the dragon for a few seconds, he will be able to join the team. However, his ulti is gone. Flash will be ready for the fight, but they're going to lack the CC from his ulti. It won't be there for the fight, and therefore ROCCAT can try and start something.
Pink Ward is then on Dragon Pit for Fnatic, but of course that will be cleared out quickly if ROCCAT actually get themselves down there. Right now, they're a little bit spread out. Graves in the bottom lane, Xaxus up on the top side, still holding on to his TP though, should he need to bring that one in. Overpower's only just now coming back out of the base and in towards that river area. ROCCAT are going to be the first team to get themselves in a position to do something, but they need to be careful. They could be outnumbered here as Cyanide jumps into the middle. Wild Growth goes down, but they put a hell of a lot of burst back towards Cyanide, even kicking him away. But Soaz coming in from the backside. Box is down. Where is Overpower here? Up on the top side of things. Cyanide going to be the focus as they try and get in. Celiva already used a lot of his damage. Fnatic around the back. Overpower coming in from the backside on towards Pekka. He, of course, has already used that Wild Growth very, very early on, and they're going to try and keep chasing through. Pekka goes south. The rest of the team going north here. I think ROCCAT might be happy with forcing them away and getting the Dragon.
Such a messy fight here. Fnatic came from all the sides around, trying to flank around ROCCAT here, but they couldn't follow each other. Yellowstar, Reckless and everyone, and Expected, they were caught in the back line here, while Cyanide jumped in, while we had, of course, Source coming from the side, so Fnatic were completely split up, and ROCCAT stayed together as a group and just kited back and kept dealing damage. That's why they can pick up the Dragon. They still need to defend this mid tower.
Moving around to it, and with Cyanide being as low as he is, probably will have a decent hold on this one. Although that's 4 men from Fnatic in there as Peke will be pushed down by Overpower. That turret has already taken a few hits. Reckless just hammering away from the backside. They got minions there to tank that one up as well, and I think Reckless is going to try and get that last knockoff. Does manage to take it. Also sidestep the crucial hook as well.
This is the lack of wave clear from ROCCAT we talked about in Champs. Like Graves won't be able to get close enough to the minions to just instant clear the wave. And it's a big issue because it meant Fnatic, even though they actually lost the team fight, could just walk down there. ROCCAT were there to defend, wasn't enough, could still pick it up. And they've been doing a good job so far, actually getting the towers they could. The same thing where Reckless just went up to the top lane when ROCCAT were out of position and just finished off the low tower.
Just want to touch on the CS here again, especially between the AD carries, because it was Reckless that had a slightly, it was only around about 10 to 15 in the laning phase, despite the pressure that they were actually putting on. However, since then, Celiva has really started to carve himself out a nice little lead with 230 to 190 CS. If you look at total gold, it's actually a bit more of a drastic picture. 2,000 gold is the difference between the AD carries.
Very big picture, and again, Graves really shines now here in this mid-game point. He has so much burst damage. The last Whisper is completed for him. So even if Source jumps into his face, he's going to do a lot of damage straight onto him, straight onto Cyanide as well. So we need to see if ROCCAT want to start forcing fights now, or want to force Fnatic to move around and really use this very strong Graves.
Currently getting some vision down on the bottom side with all those turrets out. I want to take a step back to ROCCAT's previous performances. They've been in this kind of scenario before, having a lead that's not a massive lead where they could just push out for an all-out win, but a lead nonetheless where they had pretty much control of the map, or at least thought they did. They went towards the Baron, we surmised, basically because they didn't think...
And they are completely out of position now.
They didn't seem to have any idea what else to do about that one, and we're going to see them coming in. Xaxus gets hit with the binding. He is real tanky, but not tanky enough to get away, or is he? Last second intervention comes through, and he's going to try and dodge it. He does dodge it. Reckless is now all alone.
Wow.
And Reckless going far too deep to try and secure that kill, and now Vander's in there. He's got the hook on Peke, slowing him down with the box. It's a double kill as Overpower blows him up.
Overpower, he just managed to get in range for the ulti. The rest of Fnatic already turned around because they thought he was dead. Nope, he survived from intervention. Reckless went all in for it and missed it, ended up dying. Yes, Fnatic got the tower, but now the Baron is being started by ROCCAT.
Oh. I've got nightmares about this scenario already. Cyanide is off to the side.
Well, they're 5 now, not 2.
They are 5, not 2, and they have cleared out all the vision, which is something they failed to do in that game last time. And I don't think there's any chance here for Fnatic to stop this one. Cyanide is already backed away to Golems. ROCCAT get the first Baron of the game.
But ROCCAT were lucky Fnatic went so greedy for the kill onto Xaxus here because they were completely out of position. 2 of the members were around the blue buff of Fnatic. 1 member was waiting in the mid lane, while Fnatic just moved all 5 members to the top lane to take a tower. Had they just taken the tower, didn't go for the kill, they could have backed away. The Baron would never have gone over to ROCCAT here. So it was a good move, first by Fnatic, then it went too greedy and ROCCAT managed to punish them for it.
It's not the first time that we're seeing Fnatic go a little bit greedy on kills. We can cast our mind back to All-Star and see a couple of scenarios where we thought that is just too deep that you go in there. And that was a very much repeat scenario there for Fnatic. It's been a constant deal. He's 6-1 behind in kills. Only 4,000 gold still here despite all that. Turrets are tied at 4 apiece as well. Now I'm interested to see where ROCCAT go with this, because the scenario is very similar to what they had against Super Hot Crew when they ended up losing that one. Is the Baron now enough to give them the confidence?
Well, it should be, but still they need to have a plan for where do they want to go. Just before they actually picked up the Baron, they went towards the bottom lane of Fnatic, even though the wave wasn't actually even close to pushing up to Fnatic's side. So they would have been able to take a blue buff, and then would have to go back to the mid lane. For now, they're just farming away, recalling, don't really seem too interesting in actually going to use this Baron buff, just farming away. Not much is happening for them, and it could be an issue for them, because they don't want to wait too long. Especially now when they actually picked up the Baron buff. Yes, you can argue Kayle and Trundle in the late game become very, very strong, but Fnatic's comp is not bad in the late game either. And this is now ROCCAT has the advantage, so now they need to use it.
And we can see, just to look at Overpower's build there, we've been seeing these Runon's Hurricane builds coming out of a few Kayle choices, but this time Overpower sticking to what is kind of tried and tested from his side, from promotion if we go that far back, with a complete burst build.
And he's actually going towards split push now with Source. Even though he doesn't have a teleport, starts to go towards the top lane. So ROCCAT decides to split up in a 1-3-1 here, where they simply push both side lanes with one man and then keep the AD carry and the support in this mid lane here to apply pressure, to always push the wave up. And if Fnatic then send multiple members to try and defend the side lanes, ROCCAT can just take the mid lane as a response.
ROCCAT gonna have an inner turret on the bottom lane. You can't stop Overpowered Death Cap, Nash's 2, and a Lich Bane here.
So smart.
Just gonna swipe away on that one. That turret is going down, so that leaves Fnatic with very little to work with now. Outside the base is only this inner turret here in the middle lane, which is also within 3 or 4 auto attacks of Overpower.
And this is really a situation ROCCAT loved in the last split. Whenever they can get Overpower to split push on something like Kayle or Riven, whatever it was. Sana going aggressive though.
Going in for it here. He's right in the middle of the team. Celeber actually falling low. The shield from face of the mountain will keep him alive. And he's actually life-stealing back nicely, but Fnatic get the kill on him and will try and jump away. Here comes Overpower though. Soaz going to pin him against the wall. Peke actually falling low. Xaxus can tank that turret all day long, but the rest of ROCCAT looking like they don't want the fight, they want the tower.
And they actually managed to get the mid tower here. Fnatic took advantage of the fact Overpower didn't have teleport, so they could engage the fight without him being there. He had to run all the way from the bottom lane to the mid lane. It was too late. However, he managed to turn around, get a tower for ROCCAT, so they still win out on this one. And it's simply because they are so far ahead, they could survive the fight. Time
for a boots upgrade for Overpower, I think. That's pretty much the only thing that he's got to get himself between those lanes. Oh, Cyanide jumping away. Pillar coming down, and Flay didn't quite connect. Here's another dragon, which ROCCAT have firm control of. Pink ward there, although they don't seem to want to start that one off.
Only
maybe rightly so. With 4 men from Fnatic actually coming through that Fnatic jungle. Are they going to try and set up a trap? Wasn't much of a trap in the end. Overpower just spotted straight away by the ward that Yellow Star puts down. This is a free dragon for ROCCAT if they want it.
But this is actually a very good change in the ROCCAT playstyle and mentality. Yesterday, they played very risky. That's one of the reasons they started the 2-man Baron against Super Hot Crew and lost the game. This time, they had the pink wards, so they knew there was no wards, at least not in the mid-river area here from Fnatic's side. But still, with 2 members, because they knew Fnatic could potentially be nearby, didn't want to start the Dragon, but waiting for the rest of the team. Didn't want to take any chances. Very smart play. And a big difference from yesterday, where it was just all in, try, yeah, let's start the Baron, let's start the Dragon. Oh, it didn't work, damn, we lost.
And boots upgrade did come in from Overpower. Gone for cooldown boots there, and another blasting wand added into his build. So he's at that position where you just don't want to get into a fight against that Kayle. It doesn't matter if it's a 1v2, as
we saw before.
Seen before, yes.
It is the late game kill, always such a monster. Also one of the reasons, at least for ROCCAT's point of view, they didn't feel they needed to rush anything. They could take the time, get to the point where Overpower became really strong, and also started up in the top lane became stronger as well, because Trundle also scaled so well into late game. So they're happy just using the 2 late game carries, I would call them, to now push up the side lanes, and then Graves, Celeber with Vanna can just stay around the mid lane and just make sure the wave never comes too close to their own half of the map.
Saza's actually still a boatload of CS behind there. Soaz has done very well when it comes to farming, that's for sure. And not really been making mistakes this game, that's not sure. And actually may try and go in, and literally, as I say, doesn't make a mistake, he jumps to the side of Jankos, which is not what they wanted to do. That could have resulted in a kill, may still result in a kill, but they have Zazas right in the middle of the team. Jankos now moving in as well. They're going to go for Celiva. He will try and dash away the rest of the team now coming across. Overpow going to bring the pain on them surely from this. It's Celiva that gets the first kill. ROCCAT can chase this one. Overpow not quite as quick. Here comes Bandit from the side.
Nope.
Oh, sidestep by Fnatic, and that'll be the end of that one.
But still, Baron is up in 38 seconds. Source will have teleport, so once he respawns, he can join in. Fnatic needs to recall and come down to this area, start warding it up, making sure ROCCAT won't just rush towards the Baron once he actually spawns. But again, ROCCAT, they're split up, they're in different lanes. Fnatic sees the situation, want to start a fight here because they know there are more people, but they don't get the kills fast enough. This time they didn't even get one kill, so the rest of ROCCAT can move from the side lanes, can move from the mid lane and join in and therefore turn the fight around. As long as Fnatic simply can't instant burst down these targets, they can't even start the fights because then Overpower will join in, then Sazus will join in. There was no teleport on Sazus this time either, and he had to run all the way down. And Jankos, of course, he should have been knocked back by Source here and could potentially have died then. Didn't happen though.
Yeah, I think if that would have ended in a kill, that would have been a different team fight. Least,
very much.
Yeah, without Jankos in the middle of them, who's Randuin's Omen. Either way, Baron is of course now live. Both teams have got a bunch of wards going down. Pink ward from ROCCAT, I'm just going to note, inside the Baron pit, so they can see if any sneaky ones were there. Seem to have learned their lesson directly after what happened against the SuperWeek crew with that 2-mana 10.
And also in general, they feel confident trying to move around, even by themselves, because they know the lack of burst damage from the side of Fnatic. So even if they do get caught out of position, the team can always move in. Source down this bottom lane will be joined by Sazus. His teleport is ready very, very soon, so both of them can always come up here. And ROCCAT just trying to take control of the river. Want to, of course, be a little bit careful when clearing the ward here, because Yellow Star, as a scumbag, will of course pull the Baron.
Pull the Baron, and that's exactly what he does. Didn't get the binding though. That could have been a lot of damage from Overpower, although he himself has somewhat of a beastie heal with the amount of AP that he's got now. Void Staff, by the way, was what that blasting wand
so
went
annoying.
into.
So annoying, Yellow Star, every single time. And yeah, as you just said, if he lands a bind, it's 50% HP or something gone from Overpower here. There's no tenacity on him, so it's gonna be the 3-second bind. Celiva, he doesn't care.
No, I don't think so. A couple of hits there. Soaz actually coming across Jankos. Gonna safeguard around, but I don't think Jankos is gonna live through it this time. And that's a quick big kill. A second one's gonna happen. Vanda's gonna go down here. Double kill for Reckless. And just like that, Fnatic kick off the fight. Soaz came flying out of nowhere. And they're gonna go straight to Baron themselves.
This time it worked for them. They knew ROCCAT was split up again. Sazu was in the bottom lane. He's gonna teleport in now to try and stop this Baron here. Celiva and Overpower with him.
It's got to be Overpower, you feel here, that's got to do the damage, that's got to get this one going. Celiva has his ultimate available. Can they pull this one off? Baron going low, Fnatic going low. He does go over to Fnatic in the end. But look at the damage coming out. They're getting slaughtered in the back of the Baron pit. That'll be 3 kills between the 3 men from ROCCAT. Fnatic got the Baron though, that's what they were looking for there.
And they can go towards the mid lane here, get the inhibitor down. Only 2 members from Fnatic. They can try and wave here. The culling will be ready for Reckless very, very soon. He needs to just get rid of this wave here.
Oh, that's the Baron.
It's the Baron fight. We see the 3 members coming in here. Teleport was used by Sazu. They join it. Fnatic, they clump up in the backside. They just want to kill this Baron here and then try and get out. So they take so much damage. So he's gone before the fight even starts. There's no damage onto ROCCAT at this point here. And they're just stuck together. Overpower, he's doing all the AoE damage. Celiva is doing all his AoE damage to them. And they end up picking up 3 members. However, Cyanide at least managed to pick up the Baron.
While that was happening, you would see the push in. Actually, ROCCAT got themselves a middle inhibitor and got themselves a kill. They're going for the second inning. Sorry, they're going to get that as well. Don't think they want to take on Reckless. They're going to back away now from that one. And that is a good pushback from ROCCAT and Fnatic. They had to take that. They had to go for that one in the scenario.
I agree. I mean, they knew the KO again would just be stronger and stronger. They knew Sazu would be stronger and stronger. And they've been looking for these picks. This was the first time it really worked for them. ROCCAT couldn't react in time. They were out of position. And finally, Fnatic actually managed to kill the 2 targets. I simply felt like this is the time we need to get Baron, and then now we just need to finish the game by the time we have this Baron, because again, this Kayle is such a big issue for us. We don't know how to deal with him in the real late game part.
There's the 4th of 5 dragons as well to go ROCCAT's way, so they've had some real good control over that so far in this game. 11-4 up in kills, 8-4 in towers. Gold just about 9,000 in favor of ROCCAT still. And there's a Hurricane for Overpower. So I was saying he was going the burst way. Well, he's kind of going both ways now.
Yeah, well, it gives me a little time to correct something I said yesterday. I was told at least the Hurricane and Lich Bane work together, so you would hit 3 targets with your Lich Bane. That is wrong. Ignore it. It's still only on your primary target with the Lich Bane.
Very manly, owning up to your mistakes to fish it.
Oh, you have to.
So, Overpower, if he wasn't a problem before, now becomes even more deadly. Xaxus, by the way, you can see his health bar there. It's roughly 7 million HP, I think, that he's got with that Warmogs on. And they're starting to gain more control over the Fnatic jungle. Nothing left outside of the base here for ROCCAT. In fact, there's not really much left inside of the base, if we're honest. They are on Fnatic's side of the map, and that inhibitor, of course, is open after ROCCAT took down the turret in that last push back after losing out on Baron, but still picking up a couple of kills. There's a hook coming through. It lands onto Cyanide, who now, by the way, has a Guardian Angel, so he's got a second chance if he does get focused down. Here is Overpower from the side. They are going to go in there. They're going to go straight towards the back. Panda has gone very, very deep from this one, but Overpower is also focusing in on that backside. Cyanide right in the middle of the team. They're going to try and finish him off, but Overpower going a little bit too low from this one. Turns around, intervention on. Is he lured them far enough in to get the kill? I'm not sure they do. Seliva's Guardian Angel gets popped. They have to leave him. They have to let him go down. And as he pops out of that one, he'll be shut down by Reckless. And now Peke is still chasing. He's got the damage and the slow, or just the kill, on towards another one. And that is 3 men down for ROCCAT. 1 with a blinking health bar, and Overpower managed to run off to the top lane.
That was too deep here from Vander. He landed the hook, he went in with it, but the rest of the team, they couldn't follow in fast enough. Also, there was home guards onto both Swords and Cyanide, so once they get back to the heal up, look here, Vander goes in. Notice Overpower on the left here on your screen. He's very far away. He's not part of the fight yet. He's gonna join in, hits the inhib once. Now finally he does some damage. By this time, Vander is already dead. Cyanide is tanking up all the damage here. Source survives, get into the base with home guard, heals up, and then he teleports behind it, joins in for the fight once again. So even though Overpower is so strong at this point, he needs to be there instantly. When Vander goes in, he needs to be there, or Vander needs to delay his engage.
Yeah, he's the big beastie Kayle who's perfectly suited to this scenario. You can't fight without him.
Nope.
It doesn't work. We've just seen Fnatic push back as the spawns start to come in for ROCCAT. They get themselves an inhibitor of their own. This game, I don't want to say very, very close, because ROCCAT should be the ones raiding on it, but Fnatic have shown us that they will quite happily capitalize on ROCCAT going maybe a little bit too deep or a little bit too early on the engage.
Well, Fnatic has at least shown they know how to handle this split push from Overpower, because he didn't bring a teleport, of course. It simply meant whenever there was a chance to find a target in the mid lane, they would engage with all the members they had, ignore Overpower in the bot lane, ignore Xaxus in the top lane, and just find the picks they needed. It's what they used to extend the game, and also what they used to try and pick up the Baron, and now they managed to win a team fight. They saw, okay, ROCCAT were out of position, they engaged him in, we need to defend this inhibitor here. Vander went very deep, instantly turned around to kill him. Source managed to get out of the fight, instead of dying, healed up with home guard, could join in once again, so it's a very good team fight by Fnatic in their own base.
Really like the fact that Overpower going Furor upgrade as well on his Ionian boots. Obviously gives him the movement speed addition when he throws down that Q onto someone. Keep him chasing on for days. We'll see though how this one all works, because we've got 120 until Baron comes up. Something tells me the way we've seen ROCCAT play over the past couple of days that they may be waiting for that one to come up.
100%, both teams actually. Fnatic recalling now so they can get the wards they need, then move down towards the Baron area, start placing the wards here. Make sure they have full vision, because you don't want to get caught out in your jungle now. Because if you die at this point, you're dead for 70 seconds. There is nothing you can do. The Baron will be gone, the inhibitor, even maybe your base. Because both teams here, there's the straight way down towards the Nexus, because both inhibitors, or inhibitor towers, in the mid lane are gone.
Crazy, crazy match. 42.5 minutes into it. ROCCAT been pushing for a while, got both inhibs down. Actually, that's a lie, they didn't get both inhibs down. The Bond in the bottom lane did actually survive there as they half hit it and half had a team fight, and in the end it survived. The middle inhib, which they did take down shortly before, did respawn now. So that is there for Fnatic. This could be crucial though. 20 seconds to go. Yellow Star is recalling.
This is also the point of the game where we need to remember Graves starts falling off. We talked in the mid game about how now he's strong, his burst damage is very high, but now he's hitting the point where it's hard for him to get close enough to actually do all his burst damage, and it's easy for Fnatic to zone him away, especially now with both Sanad and Source jumping towards him. So this is where Reckless really will start to shine in the fights and do more damage. Of course though, Overpower will do more damage than Lulu, so...
That's it, with the Hurricane in there now as well, he's doing a bit more than before, but we'll have to see about that. And we can see, as you mentioned, Lucian, Reckless going full man mode here, not going any defensive items. He said, play the Rune King will be enough for me to stay safe at the back of those fights.
And it's very smart because both Kayle and Graves, of course, will stand in the back line of ROCCAT. Trundle has to run towards you, he can't jump to you. Lee Sin, yes, he needs to land the Sonic Wave, get behind you and kick you in, but that's where you have your flash, you have your own dash, of course, so you have a lot of options to make sure you don't get kicked in by the Lee Sin. So he doesn't even need defensive items here, because ROCCAT doesn't have anything that can directly dive onto him. Where, of course, a Shyvana and a Kha'Zix will just jump onto your AD carry.
Yellow Star just being that nuisance as he was actually that last Baron that went down in Fnatic's favor in the lead up to that one. And this is interesting now. Fnatic actually pushing
Look at the
a couple
bottom lane.
of men down the middle. Bottom lane is pushing as well. ROCCAT gonna have to make a decision.
And the only reason Source isn't down bottom lane to push this one all the way, or actually push the tower down, is because his teleport isn't ready yet. It's gonna be up in just a few seconds. He's gonna recall, and then he can just join in for the fight. Might even see him try to engage behind ROCCAT here with Home Guard, and then he's ulting.
We've seen him do a couple of times already in this game. Let's not forget that the start of that last Baron was SOAS coming in from the back and catching out a couple of men who were out of position in that middle lane. This time around though, he's actually walking back towards the mid lane itself. ROCCAT still trying to get in here. Peke and the rest of the team from Fnatic trying to zone them out. Actually, they've dove in for this one. Xaxus going to take a lot of damage. The hook on towards Peke. Xaxus can now go back in. The box goes down. Here comes Celeber and Jankos from the backside as well. But Overpower's not there. We talked about it before. You can't fight without the late game beast that is Kayle. And they have fought without him. And they're going to lose 4 men.
What? You have a full item late game hyper carry and you don't use him. He wasn't even nearby. ROCCAT completely out of position. Fnatic, they're gonna win this game.
Fnatic, they've got 50 seconds here until everyone comes back up. Yes, Overpower is alive. If he can 1 versus 5 this one, I'd be super surprised. He's not even gonna try. Fnatic are gonna move in there, take down the Nexus turrets, kill the Nexus itself, and come back in what looked like a done game already.
Credit to Yellow Star for the flash binding. However, ROCCAT should just have left Xaxus to die, backed away, gave the Baron over to Fnatic and just try and defend from there. Overpower, he was far away from the team. There was nobody to join in time. They should have never gone in for that fight.
Incredible, incredible stuff, especially if you're a Fnatic fan. If you're a ROCCAT fan, maybe not quite as much. That was a game that they look like they probably did have it in the bag. They've taken down 1 inhibitor. They worked towards the second one, then lost that team fight.
2 team fights without Overpower, and ROCCAT lost the game. First one in the base of Fnatic. Vander lands the hook, he goes in for the engage. Overpower is in the mid lane, farming the minions. Doesn't join in time, he comes in like 5 seconds too late. Vander's already dead by the time he actually joins. And then the next one, where they get caught out of position, flash binding from Yellow Star. All of Fnatic are just screaming, let's go for this one. They jump in towards them, make sure they can get as much damage onto him, and then again Vander jumps in, tries to save Xaxus, goes down. Overpower still stuck in the mid lane.
And I think that's the difference between a